Now, we are going to learn about the term called energy. In day to day life, we are often using the term energy. When we are healthy, definitely we will have the sufficient amount of energy to perform the day to day work. So, here the energy, the term that is somehow related with the term called what is this? Work. Both energy and work, both are physical quantities that you should know. Both energy and work, both are physical quantities. Both can be measured. Both can be measured. Here, by measuring the amount of work done by the any agent, we are able to calculate the energy possessed by the agent. Are you clear? To calculate your energy possessed by you, how the energy possessed by you can be calculated? You are performing some work now. From the work which is performed by you, the energy possessed by you can be calculated. So, to define the energy, how will you define the energy here? Capacity to do a work. What is this? Capacity to do the work. That one measures the energy. Depends on the capacity of the work performed by the agent, we are able to measure the energy possessed by the agent. Here agent means we have to find out who is going to perform that work, either you or by me or by some other device. We have to find out who is performing that work. Here refrigerator also performs some work, cycle also performs some work, yourself also performing some work. So different devices, they are capable of doing some work. The capacity of the device to perform the work, that measures the energy. So the energy and work, both are related terms. Are you clear? By measuring the work, we are able to measure the energy. Make a note. So the unit of the energy and work, both are measured by the unit called, what is this? Joule. Joule is a common unit to measure the both work and energy. Are you clear? Here, 1 joule that can be measured by 1 Newton meter. So Newton meter is also the unit of energy and work. Joule is also the SI unit of energy and work. Okay, so here both are related terms. Whenever you speak about energy, definitely hiddenly you are measuring the amount of work done by the object. So both are related to one another. Understood? Now we are going to learn about the very important thing called, what is this? Law of conservation of energy. Law of conservation of energy. Right from lower classes onwards, you are learning about the concept called law of conservation of energy. What the law says here, the energy possessed by the system, is constant. Are you clear? Energy possessed by the system is constant. It may have the combination of different kind of energy. Are you clear? So the sum of the all the energies, is it clear? That one gives you the total energy. The total energy possessed by the system will be a constant one. So that's why in the first statement of law of conservation of energy, it is said that energy possessed by the system is constant. That system, that one may have either the energy in the form of kinetic energy, or the system may have potential energy, is it clear, or in any other form. If all the energies are added, you will get the total energy. The total energy will be always, it will be a constant. Are you clear? So this is a statement given in which one? The law of conservation of energy. Are you clear? So sometime what will happen? No, the system, it may possess kinetic energy alone. It may not have the potential energy. So the total energy will be fully contributed by kinetic energy. Sometime the total energy will be the sum of both kinetic energy and potential energy. Sometimes system will have potential energy alone, kinetic energy will be zero. By the time the total energy of the system will be fully contributed by potential energy. On the whole, if you add both, what will happen? You will get the total energy. The total energy will be always remaining constant. And another thing is, always, basically in nature, what happens? One form of energy is converted into another form of energy. So this is the second statement told in law of conservation of energy. One form of energy is always converted into another form of energy. That conversion often takes place. Are you clear? So such kind of transformation is often taking place everywhere. Let us take in our case. With the help of our muscular energy, we are able to ride the cycle. So in our case, we are converting the muscular energy into mechanical energy. In the case of electric fan, what happens? We are supplying electric energy that is converted into mechanical energy. Are you clear? While I am speaking, while taking class, I am producing sound, no? Where from that sound is generated? Muscular energy that is converted into mechanical energy, that mechanical energy is converted into sound energy. So like that, is it clear? In various apparatus and various devices and also within us, what happens? The energy conversion, energy transformation is continuously going on. So the statement of the law of conservation of energy must be clearly understood. Are you clear? Now we are going to learn about the two kind of mechanical energy. Are you clear? So a kind of energy, it is specifically that should be learned. That is it. What is this? Mechanical energy. If you want to displace any body from one position to another position, is it clear? If you want to move or if you want to displace any body, which energy is required? Mechanical energy is required. Throughout the lifetime, is it clear? We are displacing the things. Is it clear? Due to some reason, there we are spending, is it clear, our muscular energy into mechanical energy. Here that mainly that mechanical energy that can be classified into two categories. One is called, what is this? Kinetic energy. And another type of mechanical energy is called as, what is this? Potential energy. Are you clear? So there are two kind of mechanical energies are there. One is called kinetic energy and potential energy. Already in lower class level, is it clear? Your teachers, they may have taught about the definition of kinetic energy and potential energy. Again, I would like to recall what is the meaning of kinetic energy and potential energy. If any body, when it gets the energy due to its motion, by virtue of its motion, here we have to add the term called, what is this? Virtue of its motion. Due to motion, due to the, is it clear, movement, is it clear that body, if it gains some amount of energy, such kind of energy is called kinetic energy. Here the term kinetic that indirectly tells that motion. A moving car, it will have which kind of energy? Kinetic energy, because it is in motion. Due to movement, is it clear, it attains some amount of energy, it gets some amount of energy. Therefore, all moving bodies, definitely they should have kinetic energy. Potential energy, if any body, is it clear, if it is getting energy by virtue of its position, by virtue of its position, are you clear? Note down the term position. Due to state, due to position, potential, you can remember like this. Is it clear? By virtue of its position, if any body gets energy, such kind of energy possessed by the body is called potential energy. Are you clear? A stone is there on the ground. If you are lifting the stone from the ground level to certain height, what happens? Its position is altered. Are you clear? On the ground, the potential energy value is 0. Is it clear? As soon as the stone is displaced from the ground level to some higher level, what happens? Due to height, due to change in position, the body will gain some amount of energy. Is it clear? That energy is called, what is this? Potential energy. So like that, mechanical energy itself can be classified into two categories. Are you clear? Their definitions are given here. Okay. And then the dimensional formula. Here we have to learn about, is it clear? What is the dimensional formula? Already I have told that the work, is it clear? If you measure the work, that gives you the energy. Are you clear? The measurement of the work, that is indirectly measures the energy possessed by the object. So the work can be calculated. Its formula is force into displacement. Are you clear? For force, the dimensional formula is ml t power of minus 2. The displacement dimensional formula is L. Therefore, the energy, its dimensional formula can be written as ml square t power of minus 2. So, this is the dimensional formula of which one? Work, or you can use it for even for energy. So, both work and energy, both are having same unit, joule, as well as they are having the same dimensional formula also. Are you clear? Whenever we speak about energy, it indirectly measures the work, or if you measure the work, it indirectly gives you the answer for energy also. So I have given the introduction about which one? The energy. Are you clear? Now we are going to learn about the kinetic energy in a very detailed manner. Okay. Already I have told about the definition of the kinetic energy. So what is the definition of kinetic energy? If any body possesses the energy by virtue of its motion, by virtue of its movement, such kind of energy is called kinetic energy. We know very well that all moving bodies, they possess kinetic energy. Are you clear? Look at here, a metal ball, it is kept on the platform. Okay. Now this metal ball, it possesses some mass. Now if the metal ball, if it is allowed to roll down in this inclined plane, what will happen? As soon as it is rolling down, so due to the motion, what will happen? The movement, because of the movement, that metal ball, it will have some velocity. Are you clear? Mass is also there, velocity is also there. So due to the motion, what will happen? It will be rolling down. Later it will continue its journey, and is it clear? When it is moving in this path, this metal ball, it will create some impact on the wooden block. Here one wooden block is kept. It is kept at A. Now what will happen? As soon as this metal ball collides and impinge on the wooden block, whether the wooden block will be moving or not, that one will be pushed up to certain extent. So here the work is done by the metal ball. Are you clear? Since it possesses the energy, the clear kinetic energy, this metal ball is capable of doing some work. So the wooden block will be pushed from position A to B. So here work is done. Some amount of work is done by whom? That work is done by the metal ball. So it is capable of doing some work only because of the energy possessed by the metal ball. Previously it was kept here. By the time the wooden block was not able to be moved. As soon as it is rolling down, it gets some amount of velocity. Because of the velocity, because of the mass, this ball, it possesses some amount of energy. That name of the energy is called, what is this? Kinetic energy. Because of possessing kinetic energy alone, some amount of work is done by the metal ball. Therefore, the kinetic energy, what is possessed by the metal ball, is converted into work. Are you clear? The metal ball, it proves that it possesses some amount of energy, is clear, by its motion. Are you clear? Till the ball is having velocity, we are able to calculate the kinetic energy. Therefore, kinetic energy of any moving body, that depends on the mass of the body, and also it depends on the velocity of the body. So therefore, the kinetic energy, the magnitude of the kinetic energy, that can be measured by the formula half mv square. Half mv square. Here, that m is nothing but mass of the body, and v is nothing but velocity of the body. Square of the velocity must be taken. So by using this simple expression, we are able to calculate the energy possessed by the any body. Are you clear? Look at the another illustration given there. Here, that on the surface of the nail, that hammer is kept. Here that hammer, it does not have any velocity, but it possesses mass. Tell me, is it clear whether this hammer is having any kinetic energy? Definitely it won't have. Are you clear? Because the nail is not drawn into the, is it clear, wooden surface. Are you clear? Because it does not have any energy. Our aim is to hammer the nail, is it clear, that has to be drawn into the wooden plank. But here, look at the another one. Is it clear that the nail is little bit lifted, and forcibly, if the hammer is little bit lifted, that hammer is forcibly hit on the nail. What happens? that nail, that hammer, that one will have the clear velocity. Already it is possessing a mass. Along with the mass, velocity is also added. Because of the velocity, because of its motion, what will happen? That hammer will have some energy. That new energy due to its motion is called as what is this? Kinetic energy. Because of the kinetic energy, basically this nail can be hammered and it draws into the clear wooden plank. Okay, so all the bodies when they are in motion, definitely they will have which kind of energy? Kinetic energy. Don't forget the link between the motion of the body and kinetic energy. Okay.
Kinetic energy. Objective: to learn the basic principles of kinetic energy. The energy with an object possesses by virtue of its motion is known as kinetic energy. Let's consider a smooth round ball. If we push the ball a little, it will be set in motion. The rolling ball, by virtue of its motion, is capable of doing work. Here it hits an object, such as a small wooden block, pushing the object a bit beyond its initial position. The energy of this moving ball is its kinetic energy. An object's kinetic energy depends on both mass and speed. Let's go back to our ball. This time, we'll place the ball on an inclined plane. If we place the ball at the top of the incline and let it go, it will quickly roll down, hitting the wooden block with greater energy than before and still pushing it forward. But note the new position of the object. This time, it has been moved farther than before. Now, let's increase the inclination of the plane and return the wooden block to its original position. Place the ball at the top of the incline, letting it roll freely downhill. The ball will hit the wooden block with even greater force, pushing it much farther. Again, note the new position of the wooden block, which was pushed much farther because of the ball's increased speed. This helps us see that the kinetic energy of an object will increase as the speed increases. Let's slightly modify our experiment. Take a larger ball and let it roll down the inclined plane. The ball will hit the wooden block with a great deal of force, pushing it much farther. From this, we can see that the kinetic energy also increases with an increase in the object's mass. If we apply an equation to what we have seen, we would say that kinetic energy is equal to half the mass multiplied by the square of the speed. This can also be written as kinetic energy is equal to half mv squared, where m is the mass of the object and v is the velocity. Kinetic energy is measured in joules. When the mass of the moving object is increased 2 times, its kinetic energy will also be doubled. When the velocity of the object is increased 2-fold, then its kinetic energy will increase 4 times. Summary: moving objects possess kinetic energy by which they can do work. The kinetic energy of an object depends upon both its mass and velocity.